fun video today. We're gonna do a book haul. I went to Barnes & Noble after class today, and I was really looking for anyway, I was looking for some mystery books, some fantasy books, and I really think that I accomplished that. Second, stay tuned for a video about what I read in August. It wasn't a lot. August was really jam-packed for me, but stay tuned for that video. It's coming up very soon. But yes, let's get into it. Hey guys, so yes, like I said in the intro, we're gonna do a haul today. I went to Books A Million. I went to Barnes & Noble today after class. Really just wanting to look for some more mystery books because I read a lot. Well, I didn't read a lot. I read more than I usually do of mystery books in August, and I was really into it. So I decided to go out and purchase some more. So this haul is going to be very heavily mystery based. Yeah, I had a really fun time looking for these books as well. Some of them I've heard about before, and some of them I haven't. And so was really excited to read some books that I heard about on TikTok or Instagram or YouTube. But yeah, let's get right into it. So for anyone that watched my what I intend to read in August video, I had mentioned a series that I was wanting to get back into reading, and I ended up finishing the third book in the series. So I got the fourth book, and it is The Box in the Woods. So for anyone who isn't aware, this is the Truly Devious series, and this is the fourth book. So I won't be reading the back of this because I don't want anyone to be spoiled. It doesn't really spoil the mystery, but it's a pretty long-winded mystery. And so I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but this is the fourth book, The Box in the Woods. It is, all of them have different colors. So the first one was blue, I think the second one was red, the third one was green, and then this one's purple, and I'm pretty sure the new one that's coming out in December is an orange, which is so cool. I love it. But yes, The Box in the Woods. If you haven't watched my What I Intend to Read in August video, I intended to read the third book about a year ago. That's when I started the series. That didn't end up happening because school got really time consuming. And so I didn't actually end up getting to read it, but I did not DNF it. I was not in the middle of it. I was probably maybe 20 pages into it. So I didn't DNF it specifically for the reason that I wanted to keep reading, and I knew that there was going to be at least one more book, and this was the book that I knew about. Yeah, I was really excited. I only wanted to go to one bookstore, and I was like, if they don't have it, I'm going to just order it online, because the two bookstores that I usually go to are on opposite sides. So yeah, I didn't want to have to do that, especially after class, but they did have it, which is so great. I do intend to read this in September. I also don't know if I should wait until October to read it, because October is spooky season, but I do want to read this soon so I don't end up forgetting what happened in the third book. But the third book, oh my goodness. I don't want to say anything about it because I'm going to talk about it a bit in my What I Read in August video, but girl, it is so good. I loved every minute. I think I spent maybe 3 hours reading from page 26 until the end. It was so packed full of things. Phenomenal. I recommend it 100%. The Truly Devious series is so good, especially if you're into that Nancy Drew, Pretty Little Liars, girl detective, teenage girl detective. That's definitely what this series is. But little backstory about the series if you've never heard anything about it. Truly Devious is about Stevie. She gets accepted to the Ellingham Academy, where a very long cold case kidnapping happened in the 30s. She is delved right deep into it, and that's how she ends up getting accepted into the academy, where her project is to basically solve the case of who did the kidnapping and everything like that. But people start actually dying in present day. Now Stevie has to connect the dots between past and present to figure out who did the past murders and who's doing these right now. So yes, it was very much like a I need to read this now kind of thing. So when I found out that they were making more books, I was like, oh my god, that's insane. So yes, I did get The Box in the Woods. If you're wondering, Maureen Johnson. Look at this cover, by the way. Oh, it's beautiful. But yes, next one. So this next book is actually something that I heard about on YouTube, I think. Some girl was doing like a 24-hour readathon, but she was only doing mystery books. And this was a book that she read and she really liked it. And by like her reaction to reading it and everything, getting from like the beginning to the end, I was like, really, I want to read that. This is There's Someone Inside Your House. Also, again, these covers, man, amazing. I also did not know that it was a Netflix film. I don't know what it's called, because sometimes when they do adaptations of books, they sometimes change the titles. So I don't really know if this is actually on Netflix and this title or something different. However, I heard about her because she did Anna and the French Kiss. Stephanie Perkins wrote that series, and I was just like, never wanted to kind of read it. I'm not really into stuff like that, but I did see that she wrote a mystery book and a lot of people were raving about it, so I was like, yeah, I'll pick it up. Haven't seen it around. This was kind of the first time that I'd seen it and that I had like noticed that it was on the shelves, so I was like, might as well pick it up. I mean, it is a mystery book and that's what I'm here for. So, but I'll read the back of this one because I think this is a standalone. It's been almost a year since Makani Young came to live with her grandmother, and she's still adjusting to her new life in rural Nebraska. Then, one by one, the students of her high school begin to die in a series of gruesome murders, each with increasing and grotesque flair. As the body count rises and the terror grows closer, will Makani survive the killer's twisted plan? This is gonna be a segue to something else. There's a song called The Ballad of Sarah Berry, if anyone has listened to that. It's basically where this girl wants to be prom queen. A girl like usurps her position or whatever, and she ends up not getting prom queen. However, she kills all of the prom court except for the girl who usurped her place. Had her friends and her boyfriend and everything. And so that's basically it. The song is just her like basically going mad and then killing all of the prom court and then going to a sane asylum. I was reading it, and when it says, then one by one the students of her high school begin to die in a series of grotesque murders, I was like, oh my god, because if you had heard the song, she spells out prom queen in the names of the people in the prom court and then kills them really bad ways. If you've heard the song, you'll understand what I'm talking about. It really reminded me of it. I was just like, yeah, I would love that. Thank you. But yes, There's Someone Inside Your House. I didn't look up on Goodreads what the rating was, but I'm kind of starting to gear away from doing that because if I look at the rating, I'll assume if anything below it, a 4 is bad, that I just won't read it. So I try to stay away from looking at the ratings. However, the first couple reviews are pretty good, so I was like, might as well. But yes, There's Someone Inside Your House, Stephanie Perkins. Next one. This is another one that I have heard about, but for a different reason. So it's not a series, it's a standalone series, you know what I'm talking about? And I heard about the first book, didn't really want to read it, but was still on the lookout for it in case I got the urge to read it or whatever. But then I found out that I had a second book coming out, and I've had it on my Goodreads coming soon tab since before it came out, and I've never seen it in the library, or not the library, actually, yeah, the library or bookstores, so I was never was able to purchase it, but I did finally, and this is From Bad to Cursed, Lana Harper. The first book is Payback'S a Witch, and I'm pretty sure it's LGBTQ. I think it's, I'm think it's LGBTQ, if I remember correctly from reading the backstory. But I really enjoy like witchy stories. If anyone's heard of the X-Hex, the Hex, crap, I forgot it. I'll put it on screen. That book I really enjoyed. It had a lot of witchy vibes to it. She was a witch. Anyway, it was a bunch of hexes and curses. It's basically the same plot as this. But so when I saw it and I read the backstory for it on like Goodreads before it came out, I was like, yeah, I would love to read that, but it wasn't going to come out for like a couple months at that point. So I was just like, man, I'll just wait for it. I'll wait for it. But I didn't know it ever came out because I forget that I put things in the coming soon tab, and then they come out and I completely forget that I put them in there. But yeah, so I'll read the backstory. Wild child Isadora Avramov is a thrill chaser and adept demon summoner, and despite the whole sexy, evil sorceress vibe, also a cuddly animal lover. But when someone starts sabotaging the celebrations leading up to this year's Beltane festival with dark and dangerous magic, a member of the rival Thorn family gets badly hurt, throwing immediate suspicion on the Avramovs. To clear the Avramov name and step up for her family when they need her most, Issa agrees to serve as a co-investigator, helping none other than Rowan Thorn to get to the bottom of things. Rowan is the very definition of lawful good, so tragically noble and by the book that he makes Issa's teeth hurt. In accordance with their family's complicated history, he and Issa have been arch enemies for years and have grown to heartily loathe each other, but as the unlikely duo follows a perplexing trail of clues to a stunning conclusion, Issa and Rowan discover how little they really know each other and stumble upon a maddening attraction that becomes harder to ignore by the day. Wow, that was a lot. I don't usually read out loud. But basically kind of the same along the lines of X-Hex. That's also a really great book for anyone who has read these books, because this is the second one, but you can read them as a standalone. Do want to read this in either September or October. I really want to read a lot of murder mysteries during September and October. I think those are really spooky times. Like September is getting ready for spooky season. October is spooky season. But yes, From Bad to Cursed, Lana Harper. Next one. So these start the books of things I did not know about before picking them up. How do I say this? I love like teen murder mysteries. I really love, like I said, Truly Devious is really good. I read a lot of the original Nancy Drew books. But sometimes they can come off as a bit like not predictable in a way, but like same old kind of done deal and everything. But then I picked up this book and I was like, oh my god, that sounds so cool. I love that. And she's actually written another book. But this is The Girl in the Headlines, Hannah Jane. Yeah, I just saw it on the shelf and I was like, oh, okay, could be cool. Because I'm like, these books are they're not separated from like the young adult fiction. So you kind of have to surf through and see like the sides of the covers. And this kind of looked murder mystery to me. So I picked it up and realized, oh yeah, it is a murder mystery. But I'll read you the back. The headlines say she killed her family. The truth, she doesn't remember. Andrea McNulty goes to sleep on her 18th birthday with a near-perfect life. She's a high school field hockey star, a doted-upon big sister, and the beloved daughter of two happy parents. But when she wakes up in a motel the next morning, unable to remember what happened the previous night, covered in blood, Andy is a fugitive. According to the news, Andy's parents were brutally attacked in the middle of the night. Her father is dead and her mother is in a coma. Her little brother Josh is missing, and Andy is the prime suspect. Terrified and on the run from the police, Andy teams up with Nate, the sympathetic boy working at the motel's front desk, to find the real murderer. But while the police are getting further from the killer is getting closer to Andy, closer than she ever could have imagined. I was like, yeah, that would be something I would love to read. And we don't see a lot of things like that, where like books about like forgotten memory about what happened the night before. There are a couple that I did see. There's one, I can't remember, but it is a really popular one, where she like forgets what happens and wakes up and they all like go to a mountain. She doesn't remember going to the mountain. Her best friends are missing. She's covered in blood on a trail in the middle of the night. Anyway, I don't know. I don't remember the name of the book, but I really love that trope, like forgotten memory, and then like having to be on the run because, you know, someone's murdered that you were near. Really, really, really like that. So I picked it up. She also has another one called Truly, Madly, Deadly. And I think the premise of that book is that it's high school. She's got this boyfriend. She's really popular and everything. And then he ends up dying in a car crash. And then she's like really, really sad about it. But she opens her locker one day and sees a note that says, "You're welcome." And she's like, oh my God, did someone like know that our relationship wasn't as perfect? Or like, it actually says, did someone see what he did to her? I really love things like that. But that's the other book that Hannah Jane has written. I decided to pick this one up because, again, I really like that trope. It's really like detective-y in the sense that you have to basically retrace your steps, but you don't remember what steps you took. So the whole time you're basically figuring out stuff you should know but have forgotten about, or doesn't remember. But yes, I really, really am really excited to read this book. Like I said, probably gonna happen September, October. It might be in my September TBR. We don't know. Oh, gotta move these. Actually, no. We'll keep them there. Looks good. Hey guys, different day, obviously, different clothes, different hair, different lighting. I wanted to do not like a second part, but like other books I had gotten, because usually I get a good amount per month. But these are from 3 different book like hauls, really. 3 different bookstore trips. These and then the ones I filmed before. Like I said in the first part of this video, I really wanted to get more into like different things. I'm finding that I can't read romance anymore. Like I don't know why. I think I've read a bunch that, not saying that romance books don't have any substance to them, but like I've read too many where like romance isn't the forefront. And it's usually like, you know, it's fantasy or like sci-fi or mystery, and I'm finding that I really like when romance is supplemented and it's not the main plot. I'm finding I really, really enjoy it. So these are kind of some that have some romance in it from what I gathered from like the synopsis, but they're not at the forefront of what's going on. At least some of these aren't. But yes, let's get right into the next books. So like I said, most of these books will be action, mystery. I don't know if I have any sci-fi in here. I probably don't. But so yeah, so that's what mostly this is. I don't think there might be one romance book, but I don't really know much about it, so, which is crazy. You'll figure out why it's crazy I don't know much about this book. First one now, we have Secrets and Lies, by Stacey Abrams, writing as Selena Montgomery. I actually picked this one up today. This was the book trip I had today. So 2 of these books are from that book trip. I just saw it. I've never even heard of her like writing. She was a Georgia House of Representatives, so she was the first Black woman to run as the gubernatorial nominee for the major party of the United States. And I was like, oh my God, that's so cool. Anyway, I didn't know that she wrote books, and I was like, okay, well, might as well look at the synopsis because I already love like mystery books to begin with, and this is definitely looks like a mystery book. But I'll read you the back. She just witnessed her uncle's murder. She's running for her life, and now Dr. Caitlin Lita, I think, is face to face with the man who could be salvation. Too bad that Sebastian Kane is one of the bad guys. A recovery specialist skilled at separating prized possessions from their owners, Sebastian is after an ancient relic but he reconsiders the job when he finds himself staring at the wrong end of a gun. The lady with the finger on the trigger seems to have everything he needs and not just the artifact. In a race against time, Sebastian and Kat must learn to trust each other if they're going to survive. One biggest thing, I love books with like artifacts in them. There's another one where you'll understand why I even picked it up. But I love that like national treasure kind of thing. Like finding lost artifacts is so cool to me. I also found out that they're making another national treasure and it's coming on Disney Plus soon. And I was like, crazy, but they have no trailers and the synopsis is kind of lacking. So I don't know what it's about, but I do know that it's on there and it says it's coming soon. So I was like, what? Anyway, I love books like that. I love movies like that. And they just don't make enough of them. But I always find that you can find really good ones in books. So if you're ever looking for a movie kind of concept that you really like, try looking for the books with that concept because there's usually a lot more than there are movies. Anyway, she has this book and 4 other books, I think. But I picked up this one because 2 of them were damaged. Like I was like, come on, Barnes & Noble. But after looking at both the ones I had in my hand, because I had this one, and then I think I had Deception, maybe? I don't know. That is one of the books though. But I decided on this one because of that like ancient artifact kind of aspect that's in this one. But I'm really excited to read it. I don't know if I'm gonna read it this month. I want to. Hopefully I have enough time to read it because I really, really want to read it. But, oh yeah, with all that being said, stay tuned for a September TBR because I already have it all typed up, all ready to go. I'm currently reading the first book in it, so stay tuned for that. But yes, I saw it, read the synopsis, and I was like, cool, would love to try it. Plus, like I said, she has 3 other books, so I wouldn't be like just getting to read this one, loving it, and then having nothing else to kind of read by her anymore. But yes, Secrets and Lies. Really excited about this one. The next one is the one where I said that kind of like National Treasure, Indiana Jones vibe. This one is The Recovery Agent, Janet Ivanovich. Now let me say something about this girl. My friend's mom loves these books. She loves the Stephanie Plum books, which are also by Janet Ivanovich. But she had this one, and I have another one of her books that I'm currently set on reading for the September TBR. So stay tuned for that in the next video. But this is definitely Indiana Jones National Treasure vibes. I was like, oh, you've got to be kidding me. They don't make movies like this. Like I said, they don't make very many movies like this. You know, I've always loved The Librarians. I've loved National Treasure, like I said. I love everything that has to do with that kind of concept. I love it. But like I said, they don't make enough movies with it. So it's hard to come by. But there are a lot of books with this premise. So I saw this one, gave off, what's that movie with, when I find it, I'll put it on screen. It very much gave that. The cover gives that much of like those vibes. Yeah, so let me read you the synopsis though. Lost something? Gabriella Rose knows how to get it back. As a recovery agent, she's hired by individuals and companies seeking lost treasures, stolen heirlooms, and missing assets of any kind. She's reliable, cool under pressure, and well-trained in weapons of all types. But Gabriella's latest job isn't for some bamboozled billionaire. It's for her own family, whose home is about to be wiped off the map if they can't come up with the money fast enough. Inspired by the old family legend, Gabrielle sets off for the jungles of Peru in pursuit of the Seal of Solomon and the lost treasure of Lima. But this particular job comes with a huge problem attached to it: Gabriella's ex-husband. We're gonna say that it's Raffer. It looks like Rafer, but I don't really know. It's Raffer's who has the map that possibly points the way to the treasure, and he's not about to let Gabriella find it without him. When I read the synopsis in Barnes & Noble, I could not believe it. Like, it definitely gives Indiana Jones and National Treasure. And if I can think of that freaking movie, it definitely gives that. So I was like, no way, that's crazy. Plus I thought by the author's name that I thought it was a Stephanie Plum novel, so that's why I picked it up in the first place. And then I was like, oh my god, wait. And then I found out that it's this is the first book in a series. I think it's new. I think this book is new, so I don't think the second book is out yet, but if it is, let me know. So yeah, so it wasn't Stephanie Plum, obviously, but this is the first book in a series, so we might get like a Stephanie Plum kind of deal with this next one, which I really, really love. But yeah, also really excited about this one. Hate the fact that the sticker's there because that won't come off easily, and I really love the dust cover, and I would hate to have to throw the dust cover away, because it would absolutely ruin me if I got sticker residue, which I probably could use Goo Gone. I probably could. It'd probably work very well, but I don't know what it would do to the cover, and I'd be really sad if I messed it up. But yes, The Recovery Agent, really excited to read this one. Don't think it's gonna be in September TBR, but we'll see about October, because I'm really excited to read this one. Next is also a Janet Ivanovich book. This one is Game On. This one is Stephanie Plum. I was really excited to see that they had like a redone cover for it, which I thought was really cool. I don't think this one is the redone cover. I think there was another one, which was the hardback version, and it was next to the last book. But yeah, I'm really excited to read it. It's short, so, oh my god, it's really short. Oh my god. Sorry, I just figured something out. It says, the story continues in Going Rogue by Janet Ivanovich, coming November 20th. I was really hoping that the second book was already out. Nope. November. Jesus. Okay, that's fine. Anyway, it's a short book, so I'm pretty sure I'll be done with it pretty fast. Yeah, November 2022. Anyway, it's 286 page book. So very, very short in terms of stuff that I've read. It's extremely short. That makes me really sad that the second book's not out yet. It's fine. Anyway, was really excited to have it. Again, heard a lot of good things about Janet Ivanovich. Heard a lot of good things about Janet Ivanovich, and was really excited to like read a Stephanie Plum novel. And now I have one. But I'll read you the back. Stephanie Plum returns to hunt down a master cyber criminal operating out of Trenton in the most thrilling book yet in Janet Ivanovich's #1 New York Times bestselling series. So what I'm getting from the story is that Stephanie Plum is after a hacker who's eliminating other hackers, and it's her and this guy named Diesel, and they're both kind of on the trail of the same hacker, Oswald Wednesday. But yeah, I want to find out what her first, like very, very first Stephanie Plum novel is, so that I can get started from there. However, I really want to read this, and it is technically a standalone series. Like, it's basically the same thing with like Nancy Drew, right? You can read in the middle, because the first book, it doesn't explain like how she became a detective. It's literally just Nancy Drew pops up, Roaring Heights pops up, done. It's Roaring Heights, right? God, I hope so. I've read like 12 of those books recently. Like in the past year, I've read 12 of them. But yes, really excited about this one. Really want to get started in the Stephanie Plum kind of universe, but I don't know if my, oh yeah, it's the 28th book. Wow, 28? So this must be like a new one. Oh, I didn't even realize that. Anyway, if anyone knows what the first book of like the Stephanie Plum series is, like let me know down in the comments, because I'm really excited about reading this series. But yes, Game On. Next is, and I'm sure some people can already tell by looking at that what it is. But this book has been on my like reading list for a while, and I know that it's good. I actually recommended it to my mom and she really, really enjoyed it. I just haven't got around to reading it. I also have not been able to find it in bookstores for the past like 5 or 6 months, which I think is TikTok's doing. But I'm really excited to read it. It is, of course, Daisy Jones and the Six. Just this cover is amazing. Anyway, for those who aren't aware, it has like a screenplay kind of deal. It's got their names and everything. Sorry if I just spoiled something. Anyway, it's got like names next to everything, so it's very much like a podcast kind of thing. That's what everyone says, especially about the audiobook. It very much gives off podcast vibes. But it's more like, for me anyway, like a screen reading of like episodes of a TV show. So basically, that's how I always think about it, you know? Hear a lot of good things about Taylor Jenkins Reid, period. But I think this is the only book I'd be tempted to read. Not that any of her books are bad. It's just, this is the only one that piques my interest, kind of. Kind of want to read 7 Lives of Evelyn Hugo. Is that what it is? What is it? I am not doing well with names today. I'll put it up on the screen. You'll know what I mean. The one everyone talks about. Yeah, that one. That's the one I want to read. But it kind of scares me to read because it's so popular. Same thing with like Spanish Love Deception. There was like, it is not even like 40-60. It is 50-50. Like, you either really, really love it and it's your most favorite book of like the year, or you absolutely hated it and you DNF'd it. Like, it's so like there's not a spectrum. It's like cut in half and there's no middle at all. No one just kind of like doesn't care for it, but like it wasn't bad. You either hate it or you love it. And so it kind of scares me to read books that TikTok kind of says are really good, because there's that small amount of people that actually say what they think on TikTok about these books and say they absolutely hated it. But this one seems pretty much level on how many people hated it and how many people loved it. Like, this one has a lot better, like, it was taken better than I think Spanish Love Deception was. And currently still is, because no one can make up their minds on that book. Which is why I probably won't ever read it. Like, I don't want to waste my time on a book, because like it's really hard for me to like DNF a book, because that seems really permanent. So like reading a book that a lot of people have not finished kind of scares me. But yes, Daisy Jones and the Six, really excited to read this one. I really hope that I get, you know, some extra time at the end of September to read a little bit more books that I've been wanting to add to my TBR. But if I don't, this will definitely be an October read, because I'm really excited for it. Next is a funny one. I got this one, like 3 weeks ago, maybe. And because I was in the middle of my August TBR, I said in the first part that to stay tuned for a what I read in August, and might even put what I read in July, because I didn't read much in August because school was starting and everything, and I was super busy. But I bought this book in the middle of my August TBR kind of read through. I had put in my TBR for August Solace Island. This is the 3rd book in the series. It's like a standalone series kind of deal. This is the 3rd book. This is Hidden Cove. I could not find the physical copy of Solace Island, and I really, really wanted a physical copy. And because I had found this one, I was like, you know what? Because I really wasn't feeling like reading on my Kindle. So I ended up switching Solace Island out for Hidden Cove, and I just finished this one No. I'm so like, I don't understand time. I finished this one yesterday morning. Sitting in a coffee shop. My class got canceled. So I was sitting in a coffee shop and I was like, you know what? I've got like 100 pages left. Let me just read it. I had like 2.5 hours before my work shift started. So I read this real quick, ended it, finished it. Really, really, really enjoyed it. Like, to the point of where I'm currently reading the first one right now on my Kindle because I do not have the physical copy of Solace Island, like I said. This is the third book. I do plan on ordering the second one so that I have a physical copy. I really loved this book. Like, it is so good. For anyone who loves mysteries on islands, this one's so good. And the twist at the end, I don't want to talk about it. I'm going to talk about it in what I read in August, because I technically this was technically on the TBR. The series was for August, so this will definitely be a what I read in August highlight. But yeah, I really, really enjoyed it. For anyone who really loves island mysteries, this one takes the cake. But yeah, currently reading the first one, probably about 50% of the way through it. Really, really, really enjoying it. So yeah, this will be talked about in my what I read in August video. August, July, we're still deciding on the terminology, but depending on what books I show and what books I talk about will determine what the title of the video is. But it's technically what I've been reading for the past month and a half. But yeah, really enjoyed it. Look out for that video. It's coming soon. Don't worry. I'm probably going to film it right after this one. So if I look the same, mind your business. So yes, that is the last book of the book haul. I did a lot of book shopping. The past couple weeks, maybe. Been going to the bookstore a lot and been finding a lot of really, really good books. Like, I don't understand what happened over the summer, but like, my taste in books has completely changed. And so I'm really excited about that because I love the books I'm reading. I love the books that I'm picking up and I'm becoming interested in. But yes, that is the end of this video. I also wanted to say, if you have any ideas of what other videos you guys want to see, let me know. I do have a list, like a notes checklist thing of all the like videos I see from other booktubers on YouTube and like TikTokers. Other videos I see on like for other booktubers, other on Book Talk and just like stuff like that. But if you have anything that you specifically want to see, let me know. I also want to do like a read with me kind of thing, especially with some books I want to read in September. I love watching them and like seeing what people think right then, because I do it on GoodNotes where I like update my progress and then I put like what I'm thinking at that part of the book. But if you want a video version of that, let me know. And if you don't, my GoodNotes is linked in the description. So if you want to follow me on GoodNotes, all that fun stuff, let me know. Also, I've been thinking about starting a book Instagram specifically for, you know, hyping up the channel. Also, like, some favorite, like, book shopping tips that I've, like, gotten from people on TikTok that I now implement when I go book shopping. I would love to do a book shopping tips video. That would be so fun. But yes, let me know what you guys want to see. And I would love to do anything. Really, this whole thing is an experience, like experimenting with things and everything. But yeah, it was great spending time with you guys. Stay happy, stay healthy, all of those self-care things, and I will see you guys in the next video.